like always. So there we go. Hey, guys, we're back. Let the unhyped train continue to till I guess season 2, right? I mean, I guess the unhyped train will continue far beyond season 2, but that's what we're here for now, right? I mean, I know there's been a few videos here lately where I've just lost my shit entirely, but we'll get to that here in a second. I want to say hi to the chat. Of course, we got Thumb Maryland is here. Max, haven't seen you in a bit. I can never. Somebody's got to hit. Is it? I know that's somebody changed their name, and I hate when people change. It screws me up. Mahala, right?
Mahalinir.
Mahalinir? Yeah. Okay, there you go. Mahalinir. Daisy Dude is here. Miss Martin Muses is here.
Hail Teresa.
Gadfly is here. Gadfly Fiction. Dempsey and Jaden, as always, with this big hello. And then, of course, we have my wonderful panel and guests. We got, of course, the one, the only, the bandanaed badass Salty Texas. Well, damn it. I did it again. Traveling.
It's all right.
I keep doing
it.
How you doing, buddy?
Hi, everybody.
You doing good?
Yeah, we're good. Oh, yeah, dude. I love the fact that 45 minutes before the stream, you're like, I looked at my phone and there was a text message saying, we're streaming tonight, and I was at the store, so But thanks for the heads up. It's good to be.
I was flirting with it all day, right? And then I made a decision. Like I got the okay from Alex. Alex is like my dinner fell through. I'm good. And then I'm like, hey, Eldan, you want to be? He's like, yeah, man, I'm good. And I'm like, all right, schedule it. And then Salty's like, hey, we're going live tonight. And I'm like, oh shit, yeah, I sort of forgot to let you and Brian know where to go, right? So unfortunately, Nathan can't be here tonight, and maybe we may have a horse show up later, but we'll see about that. But yeah, thank you for hurrying through your errands to be here, my friend. And so
I'd much rather talk about this shit show, which is only going to be beyond our imaginations as far as what they're going to do in season 2. And you and I have talked offline about potentially putting together a show where we guess, based upon the footage we've seen, what's going to happen with people. I really look forward to that.
I got all kinds of shit written down. I've never had this much shit written down anywhere ever. But we'll get to that. So thank you, and of course we have. I guess I'm not sure what's eating his head, but Aldan has joined us today for the group vent session. How are you, buddy? How are you doing, man?
I'm doing good, mate. I'm doing good. As I explained backstage, mate, this is just, I have to wear this until the Melbourne Footy Club loses the next game of football, which hopefully won't be until grand final day in a couple of months. So we'll see. But I've got.
Why would you want to lose on grand final day?
I don't want to. That's what I'm saying. Hopefully, the only time this comes off is after the big dance.
After the big victory.
Wait, so you're saying if something works so well that you win the championship, you would immediately go away from it?
No. But this is the deal. This is what I said. Is that I won't take this off until we lose the next game.
But I see what you're saying.
You're right, man. I'm probably wearing it until next
part of next season. If you keep it on, maybe you'll just go straight undefeated.
Alex, you're not wrong, mate.
It's a miracle any of us actually make videos. You know what I mean? Like, look, we can't even do this, but our heart's in the right place, all of us. Aldan, I thought maybe you were cosplaying Show Nynaeve with the dreadlocks.
No, I'm not. I just thought I'd go blue and red.
No disrespect.
No, if we ever acted out, you got the part, man. I think you can nail it.
I thought he was Avienda, but.
Yeah, I'm Avienda. What are you talking about?
Okay.
Wait. No,
I did correct you. Yeah.
You remember my reading of Avienda, all right? I am Avienda. Don't try and don't put baby in a corner, all right? Real quick before I get on to, of course, the two awesome gents below. Dovey has gifted a membership. Thank you, and Thumb Maryland got it. Awesome. So, thank you, Dovey, and welcome to the Dragonsworn Thumb. Nerporio, I guess Rage Porio. How you doing, buddy? I heard I got to at least cheer you up from a bad week this week, so that was good.
Yeah, and just hopefully, I want to get on to the Shadow Rising. I am trying to finish Lord of the Rings right now. I'm on Return of the King. So, yeah, it's fantasy all over for me. So, you know what?
How are you in a bad mood? I heard you got a Mario RPG video that's skyrocketing.
Oh, it's something else. It's something else.
Okay,
So,
we can talk later if you need me to know. So, if you need anything, let me know. And then, of course, Alex Green himself, who ditched a dinner date, I guess, to be here, or did it just fall through?
No,
it was a work dinner, yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
You're welcome,
who cares about
Nas.
that, right?
You're welcome, Nas.
Uh-oh,
by the
what
way.
did Nas do? What happened? What did I miss? Oh,
I
Salty
give-
just gifted the member. Well, thank you, Salty. And
Yeah.
Nos is back. He made it. What's up?
Cheers.
Thank you. And man, we got lots of people. Fufu herself is here. Fufu, what's up? Glad you're here. The son of Jockster is here. And yeah, so Jim C is here as well. So thanks, guys, for filtering in. I'm assuming, Alex, you've seen some of this BS going on. Yeah, I know you're back on the road now. Yeah.
I mean, the only reason I know that any of this stuff is happening is because I am subscribed to this fantastic YouTuber named Prophet of the Dragon, who has been keeping the entire public up to date on the comings and goings, mostly the goings of the Treason 2 of the Wheel of Prime show.
Treason 2, I like that.
Yeah, I mean that's what it is now. It's not a season. Wheel of Prime is not seasons; they are treasons.
Wait a second. Am I going too far? Has it been too many videos? Is that what I was trying to say, or just keep it going?
Not at all. You're a fucking legend, man. Keep it up.
I don't think there's enough, Steve. I don't think you have.
There's
enough
not
videos.
enough. Shit.
I dare you to do better.
Do better. All right, I'll go for one. I'll go for one a day for you, buddy. All right, I'll just dig some shit up and do a video on the same thing every day if there's not new.
I want to know. I want to know why you don't have secret sources inside Lucasfilm with code names.
I do. Wait, no.
Feeding you information with what's going on.
That video. Okay, so this is, of course, I've talked to Alex about it. Don't worry, Wheel of Time 0 is coming to a YouTube channel near you soon. Okay, there will be hot takes and secrets galore from the non-existent spies that I have within Amazon. They'll be feeding me all the fake news, which I will relay as real. Don't you worry.
I'll
Wheel of
post
Time 0
something
is
on
coming
Twitter. I'll post stuff on Twitter that your source can then reference to when they make a video, and then you can make a video about yourself responding to that thing that was on Twitter.
Well, you don't realize, but Easton is my source. So he just says stuff, and then I go, "Oh, that sounds good." So that's my source usually, Easton. So he's gone. So I was in the middle of making one. It wasn't quite right, but we will have rumors that are just straight up fake galore coming soon. So don't you worry. I'm gonna stir the pot. Don't you worry. And I did see that poll you sent. That's the stuff you like sending to me to just get me riled up.
I saw. I do a lot of looking at while I'm on meeting calls in the weird corners of Twitter, and I saw some stuff today involving things that none of us that are sane human beings would have ever thought about Math Cawthon. I'm just gonna say that. So
oh God.
Maybe we can save it for the end of the show.
Yeah, that would be good. I think that would be good.
Okay.
Because I was gonna freaking you did that last night, Flaccid. Thanks for being here.
Yes,
yeah, because I almost I got so mad. I was at work, right? You said that around 2:00. I had an half-hour work left, and we'll talk about it at the end when we're finishing up. But stick around so you can see what made me so mad that I almost dipped my hand into a bucket of it's basically bleach, hypochloric acid, because I was not paying attention, and I almost dropped my phone into a bucket of high grade bleach, and it's so because I almost posted my own poll on Twitter, and I still may. We'll see. So
yeah, Mahalen Air is correct. It was about Math Cawthon. How did you know? So
which one was this? Did I miss it?
Mahalen Air says they're still effing with bloody Matt Cawthon, and yes,
it's crazy, right? He's definitely the target of all this crap, and you'll see. Yeah. You'll see if you haven't seen it when we bring it up, because I think it'll be. We got to look at it now. I've hyped it up too much, right?
Yeah, so, you want me to send it to myself and just get it out of the way so everybody, or you want to wait till later?
You want to do it now? Should we do it now, guys?
All right, I gotta pull something big out of my pants. 1 second.
Oh damn! Oh my god! Wait, so you want me to put a mask on for my I almost said Mike Zero, Wheel of Time Zero episodes? I might be able to arrange something. So, oh boy!
Dempsey, I said the exact same thing, buddy. We're working on it.
You guys must be like. I couldn't. I've been getting that request to anybody I've told, so it's like maybe I guess I have to figure something out.
Now,
dude, if you're very, go ahead.
Oh no, dude.
I was gonna say if you're very lucky, you might be the villain in season 3, like in She-Hulk.
So I'm going to disavow this. I want to disavow this. I want to say that I didn't go looking for this. I found this off of WOT series, and this was a link off their page that somebody had posted a comment on. And I'm like, all right, let's see what's going on with Math Cawthon. Why is everybody talking about Math Cawthon? I'm going to let the graphic maybe go full screen on it to speak for itself.
Yeah, I'll put it up, but it's amazing. WOT series, actually, they have a lot of news, whether it's, they show a lot, but it's actually pretty up to date. But
it's true.
But then you get this type of stuff, which man, I'm sorry, there's 18 people in chat, plus you guys are gonna have to see this, but here we go. So
here you go.
So 7 Towers Hockey Party. Here you go.
Yeah, there you go, Eldan.
Somebody's like flag this. However you like to define it, which of these characters from the Wheel of Time books gives off the queerest energy?
This thing had 7,000 views. 7,000 people looked at it.
You guys are so late on this. They have done like 80 of these things.
I know, that's what
but just because I'm late doesn't mean it makes it any better, right? I mean, like,
Jaden, you're asking the right questions. I'm just gonna say that. Yeah, this was a link off of me going to Wheel of Time series, the website, and I went to Twitter and followed some of their posts, and then this was posted under their stuff, and I'm like, I didn't even read anything. I just clicked down, and then I saw this, and I sent it to Steve and Nathan and Brian, because I think Nathan had the best response, which I probably can't say on your channel. Just gonna say that. But I mean, again, who thinks like this? I mean, Matt Cawthon is a babe slayer, absolutely the embodiment of rascal, ladies' man, rose in his teeth, that whole thing, heartbreaker, love taker, the whole thing. And now they want to have I don't even know how the hell you say it, bukkake. Bukkake party. Who most likely would be? Who gives off the biggest, queerest energy in the Wheel of Time books?
Yeah, but you've got to remember, you've got to always remember that. Also, we've got Nerdman in here, guys, so no spoilers, right? But the 0.2% of the population, right? This is also a good pointer, I guess, to like why we're getting what we're getting with this show, right? Yeah. But like this is the part of the fandom that it comes out of. Like this is what their focus groups look at, and this is what it is. Like, these sorts of ideas, and from later on in the books, like I said, which we can't spoil Nerdman, right? But there's like a relationship that Matt has, right? And that's what this is about, yeah. And the
thing that drives me crazy about this list is it's totally made so they're gonna answer Matt. Like Pedro, Null, Davern, Bashir, and Lan. I mean, like, of course, like it's just geared so everybody's going to pick Matt. Like it's I don't know.
Yes.
It's why it's just I don't know.
Gadfly Fiction says that side of the fandom only cares about who they want to have sex with. They don't care about character, personality, plot. Are you sure you're not talking about the writers and the showrunner? It's just I mean, again, your comment's spot on. Your comment is spot on.
I'm getting that off the screen before my eyes. So, and I know it's late. I know. How many of those have they done, Alex? I know you're doing the God's work on Twitter, but I can't scan. I know you get in there and you like just poking them.
Unfortunately, I have basically been blocked by the entirety of this side of the fan base, and I called this person an it instead of, because they have they them pronouns, and it is the singular pronoun of they them. But they were very, very angry at me, and they somehow all communicated and got like 70 people to block me at once.
Yeah.
But they have done no less than 100 of those. They do. They just pick 4 random characters.
Yeah,
Wow.
I don't know. It's whatever. It's just I don't know. Sometimes it's like, are they actually interested in doing that, or is it they're just trying to piss us off? I don't know.
No, this is what like Tumblr's been doing this for 15 years. This is what it is, and it's just transferred. That's what this is, and that's where our show's coming out of, and that's like I said, that's why.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
There's Alex's contribution right there.
Yeah.
Even though it's Stephen A. I mean,
who I very much dislike, but in this instance, it is.
I mean, he does have so he does have some good sound bites, right? But I don't know, but we did have some weird news, and I do want to, because there is an upcoming event, and we'll get to that because I want to ask you guys your opinions on some stuff that's happening next week. But we did have some minor, very minor, extremely minor news that I made a video about, and I couldn't believe how much I really just didn't give 2 shits. I couldn't believe how much I don't care. But we have the announcement of the Wheel of Time animated show that is now not about the Age of Legends. It's now about the White Tower. Oh goody! So who's hyped up for now Tower Politics in animated 2D? I guess gumball animated style, or what is it going to be? Teen Titans Go looking, or new Ninja Turtles? What's it going to look like?
It look like Harry Potter.
But it's girl power.
Well, I mean, that's what it's going to be, right? I mean, it's just going to be like girl goes to Hogwarts and explores the tower. Like that's like when I was making the video, that's the last thing I thought. I'm like, this is just going to be, it's the same story. I mean, it's like a girl in a small mountain village. Who does that sound like?
Hey, I got an idea for what this show might be about. Maybe it's a cautionary tale about not fucking with the equipment, or in this case, the Terangrials. Maybe the girl, her ultimate fate is to get lost in one of those Terangrials that they use to test the acceptance. Except she just disappears into it, and that's why we never see her in the Wheel of Time.
See, that's too crazy.
That's pretty sure. I'm pretty sure the show is only to create a diverse, underrepresented, disadvantaged, little child that they then immediately, as quick as they can, have a pillow friend in an animated show for children.
Well, if you haven't,
and I'm not trying to be funny when I say that, but that's pretty much what I think of Hollywood is. If you can do this and sexualize younglings, that is number one on their hit parade. I mean, we've seen,
Is this confirmed to be for kids, or is this going to be more like an anime? More for
that's a good question. And
I don't know. I mean, go ahead.
The producer behind this, and this person, and it depends on which article you read, because the article I found, Steve, was German, and then after I put my video out, what was it, yesterday, all the other websites, CBR, ING, ran with this shit.
Yep.
And ING had a quote in there that said this guy is already involved with the current Wheel of Time on Amazon Prime. Both of these guys are. So another article went out of their way not to say that. So it's almost like they're trying to say, no, we're not part of this shit show that nobody watches and people don't give a shit about. We're making something new. But that's not the case. These people are integrally involved in what's going on Amazon. So now they're going to make an animated show. What do you think it's going to be about?
Well, it's the Red Eagle people, right? I mean, it is the Red Eagle people, right? So I know they have they're involved. I don't know.
But the writer is involved in Wheel of Time.
Oh, is he? Okay.
Yeah, and that's where my point is. So, I mean, the animation people are kind of, in my opinion, kind of irrelevant, except I guess what the style is. But whoever writes the script, as we've all sadly learned in Witcher Season 3, I'm looking at you. Wheel of Time, I'm looking at you. That defines what everything is,
Yeah, and it's one of those I would like, because he wrote for Camp Cretaceous, the freaking Jurassic Park kids show. So I don't know who it's going to be for. I don't know if it's going to be an actual anime for grown-up people, or if it's going to be built towards kids. I don't know.
I think it's going to be kids. The statements that he made, the statements that he made was essentially he's trying to create propatainment for young girls.
Well, and the problem for me too is if it is made for young girls, right, or for young people, right? We'll just be fair and say young people, right? They're trying to replace Rand, because then if you just look at this and it's a 1-to-1 replacement of Rand.
I think this kind of highlights it's either going to be Egwene or Nynaeve who's the Dragon Reborn. I think all roads lead to one of them, and my money's on Nynaeve. And so I think this is just creating that for what happens in season 3.
Maybe, I don't know. I think they'll probably make this like they'll retcon this into being like a story about a girl who becomes Amyrlin, and they'll give an Amyrlin like a backstory. I don't know, but
yeah,
I just found it interesting that they've taken a shift from the Age of Legends movie to this. So, Alex, go ahead, man.
Fingers crossed. If this is an Amyrlin story, then this has to be the Amyrlin who gets tortured to death before Moiraine and Swan get sent out to find Rand. So, fingers crossed. We got some options here.
Which would actually be cool.
Well, I mean, it'd just be boring, generic girl power fan fiction, but
but that storyline would actually.
Hi, Nathan. See you later, Nathan. Hi.
Oh, hey, Nathan. Yep. What's up, buddy? What? No, I'm with, like, here's the biggest problem, and I don't know, like, I wanted to get the super chat here in a minute after this, but there's a million stories to do this with, right? And you just chose a generic White Tower story. It's like, why wouldn't you pick one of the other huge events that's happened in the past and
because you
tell
love
that
the story? You love Robert Jordan.
Well, yeah, of course, right?
Steve,
so,
I'm not talking down to you. Go ahead, Aldo.
Oh no, I know.
Yeah, if you look at the premise of what it says that this is about, and if Friends or whatever is already involved in the show, and you look at the premise of what this is, then it makes sense from that point of view that this is what they would want to do, right? To add to the existing IP or whatever that they're trying to build within the Amazon WAP world, whatever the fuck they want to call it.
The Vagiverse.
That you would have, like, because it is a story that they've made a show about magic bitches, right? And everything around it. It's not about magic. It is though. Yeah. That's what it
You're
is.
Not wrong. You're not wrong.
It's not the story. It's not the story of the kids and that sort of stuff, right? It's a story about the White Tower, and they have like a different perspective on what that power structure is in the world of Randland than what 99% of the people, the rest of us think. And so it makes sense if you think about it from that point of view. I don't think this will get made. There's no way this will get made, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, you don't think it's? You just think this is another one of these, like, let's see if we can drum up any interest. Because I feel like that's what happened with the Age of Legends things. It's like, we're gonna do a movie about the Age of Legends, and everybody's like, why? Who gives a shit? And then it just disappeared. So you think that's what this is, just another red herring? They're not gonna make this.
That's right.
Yep. I could almost also see this as a business ploy by iWatch/Red Eagle, where they say, okay, we're going to make this movie. Amazon pay us for this movie, or Netflix is going to pay us for this movie. And I don't think Netflix is going to pay them for the movie, but Amazon just might throw them a couple $1 million to shut them up. And
well, I mean that's because they're the most reputable company out there. They made a 20-minute piece of crap to keep the rights for So
I mean, if you really think about what this is from the studio that brought you Winter Dragon, and then sued Robert Jordan's widow for correctly calling it a duplicitous piece of shit, acting directly against the written down will of Robert Jordan, comes a story about the girl who's the key to everything, who will basically be functionally replacing and copying the actual main character story. Nobody is going to watch this. This is ridiculous. But I also agree with Eldan. This company isn't competent enough to get something off the ground.
As long as Jennifer Sulky's there, and Disbrew did a really good video on that the other day.
I agree.
He did, didn't
he? She, as long as she's there, this is all you're going to get. I will say this, and I think there's an element to this that I missed in my video, and I wish I could do it over. There is an animated thing coming out next year with a strong female protagonist character, which is Lord of the Rings, the
Oh.
War of the Rohirrim, with a made-up female character. So I'm guessing, with my experience with corporate America over the last couple of decades, somebody's like, why don't we have an animated show that's about female empowerment in fantasy, and put in the gay and put in the BIPOC? And I think that's kind of where this came from, because this is random AF.
Yeah,
You know?
that's the number. It's random. But let me get to this. Mahalander says for $9.99. Sorry it took so long to get to it, buddy. Oh hell yeah! Who doesn't want White Tower drama with plenty of queer representation? I'm in, baby. I'm sure it's all in line with the spirit of the books. Yeah, of course.
Clam
right?
slam.
Yeah.
Clam
No,
slam.
that's right. It right there. Right. It's just I don't know. Like I don't know. It's like I'm in this place where it's like for this, it's just like. I don't know if I can give two fucks because
I didn't either. I didn't when I was like, oh well, this is gonna fail too. I thought the more interesting news was that potentially that German article leaked some of what's going to be happening in season 2, because that's the first time I've heard anybody give a synopsis about anything going on in season 2.
Well, it's funny
we
because
know
that
it's
was
not
most
going to
of
be
your,
the books.
that was most of your video actually.
Well, because fuck this
I
fucking
know.
nobody gives a shit about this. Nobody gives a shit about the animated stuff. It's ridiculous at this point. But I do think they're making this to cover for what they're going to do in season 2, which is going to be crazy.
Yeah, that's what I
Is this going to be a movie, or is this going to be like a series,
It's supposed
like a
to be
mini
a movie.
It's supposed to be a
All
movie.
right.
At best, it's going to be the that Witcher animated movie, the Nightmare of the White Wolf.
Right.
That is best case scenario.
Yeah, best case.
There's no way
Where-
it's going to
best
even
case,
be
yeah.
that good. There's
By
No,
far
it's
the-
there's not a chance it's that good. But that is the best case scenario. A thing that didn't
call.
move the needle at all in regards to the TV show, but was just kind of fine and throwaway. More likely, it's going to be a complete clusterfuck that just further pisses people off.
Oh, I think you're right. And I hope you're both right. I hope it just never gets made. But I do have to ask real quick before I see we want to read this comic book from Trip. But have any of you lads ever thought the White Tower was your favorite setting in the Wheel of Time? Because I don't. This guy's quote: "I have been a lifelong fan of Robert Jordan's what is that world Robert Jordan created? I'm sorry, particularly the White Tower."
Yeah,
Like-
so that's not
Whenever I hear stuff like this in the article, I always call bullshit. Like you
It is
hear
bullshit.
Well.
you hear
No,
this all.
I don't-
You hear this all the time. I hear this all
It's-
the time.
it's
Ryan
not
Johnson. I'm a
bullshit.
Star Wars fan. You know,
It's not
See you later,
bullshit.
Roman.
It's very particularly worded. I have been a lifelong fan of the world Robert Jordan created. They did not say that he was a fan of the story.
the books.
He is a fan of, or not of the books. He is a fan of the world. And his view of the world is that there's a badass, BIPOC, gay represented sorority house that runs the world. And that's what
it.
he likes. So,
That's
I
exactly
mean,
right.
that's what it is.
so
I
in
mean,
other words,
he even calls, which serves the mysterious Aes Sedai sisterhood.
Yeah.
That is,
Yeah. Which you can't. How can you have that take if you've read it? That's like, but people do, and that's the thing. Like, there's, like, people get what they, people read what they read, they perceive what they perceive, right? And there are people that this is what they get out of it, right? Which is like insane. Like how you could, I don't know. But there's people that's what it is, It's the same people that say this is this is Robert Jordan's take on feminism which is complete nonsense. But that's what they see when they read, and this guy, based on this statement, that's what this bloke's all about too.
Well, I would argue that they are correct, that it is Robert Jordan's take on, the idea of pure feminism, the idea of a society of where women run everything and there's no men
Matriarchal.
involved. But he's not complimentary of that world. He is very critical of that world and points out the absurdity of it and points out how it would immediately implode. So, I mean, it's like...
Yes.
That's what I'm saying, Alex.
Yep.
Yes, he put in like a power structure, a matriarchal power structure in the world, but it was not a positive thing. It was not a net positive. Like the incompetence that brought out, or that grew out of the same power imbalance that you would have in a truly patriarchal society, right? I think that was his commentary.
100%. It's the idea of gender complementarianism, and when you look at the Aes Sedai as a whole, and I promise I'll shut up after this, you literally, every decision that they make and basically their entire history, the main question was it incompetence or was it intentionally destructive? Everything they do,
or negligence, exactly.
Well, or incompetence or downright evil.
Yeah,
I don't even think it's negligence. I mean, Elida was intentionally evil.
Careful,
careful.
I know exactly.
And that shit, the shit between the blues and the reds that went on for 3,000 years. You know, I mean, there's that whole thing.
I know exactly where you're going, Alex. I'm like, careful. We got a guy over here.
But based on Alex, what you said about how carefully worded, what was in the article. I have my take right now based on what you said, and that's a good point. Is I think maybe he heard in passing. Maybe he heard about the world of Robert Jordan passing by a fan who maybe he was one of those cocktail parties that all those Hollywood types go to, and he heard about it. He's like, oh, maybe that's how he became a fan of the world that Robert Jordan created. Not the story, not the books.
Yeah, the world, right? Yeah, you're right. It's very specifically worded, but I wanted to. So Trip, this is exactly what I'm talking about. Foo, my foo. If you want to do a strong female character, why don't you do some IO world building? You could make a fantastic action series based on the culture and the forays into the Blight. Well, yeah, you got the IO. There's a whole bunch of things you could do with. I mean, even if you did.
Story.
Was that?
You could do Tigraine's story.
Yeah, you could, right? But they already did that with the Blood Snow, and the Blood Snow is the best.
Hey, that's the best fight I've ever seen. Best choreography. Fuck Bruce Lee. That's where it goes. Yep.
Right. So.
Yep.
But I saved this from Max because have you seen Winter Dragon? Reporter?
Hey, I listened.
That's the prologue, right?
Yeah.
I think I've seen part of it.
Yeah. Oh, you've seen part of it? Okay.
Yeah. It's the one that looks pretty low budget.
Yeah, but I would take Billy Zane's. Ishmael.
Billy Zane, yeah.
Oh, Billy Zane's Ishmael was the best acting we've seen in a Wheel of Time character put to screen. I don't even think it's all that close, to be honest.
Does Billy Zane act fucking insanely evil? Unlike unlike our used cars, our nice guy used car salesman, Carl Zaman, I'll call him.
Billy played the character.
Yeah.
So I think there's some details from this animated thing that a lot of articles didn't have, but were in the Hollywood Reporter, and it's this sentence. Age of Legends will be set several millennia before the books and in a futuristic utopia powered by a magical force shared by men and women known as the One Power. So this is detail I never saw in any of the articles that I did. So essentially they're saying that, what is this? We're going way, way, way back? We're going to go back
I don't know.
The break into the world?
They've shifted from calling it Age of Legends to calling it the White Tower. So I don't know if they've shifted from that actual Age of Legends movie to just doing one that's not current time but still White Tower, right? So I don't know, because that's calling it Age of Legends. So I don't know.
That's what I mean, because I went looking for this exact stance, and this was talking about the animated. Yeah, this is the same stuff we've been seeing.
Well, I think this is an old. No. So it's the same guy. This came out like about a year ago.
Oh, so I'm looking at this is 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Never mind.
So it's the same, but see, but still, it's the same guy doing
that.
The
just
same
validated
project.
What we're saying, because they took the men out of this. Yeah. They didn't want to have the men be equal with the women and channelers or anything like that. They literally threw that out the window, and this is a feeling. I can't prove this, but obviously somebody said, no, we just need to make it about female empowerment. And that's why we saw the words that this guy said, which is crazy to me. It's just, it's crazy, because I however trash this is going to be, I somehow think that Age of Legends movie would have been better. But
it depends. That completely depends. That sounds like they're trying to do the strike and show rule. which would be wicked if they did it.
If they
I
did
know,
it
right?
But there's
Dude,
no
that
way
could you
that
imagine
you're
if somebody did it? At least, dude,
want
just
to
half
hear it
right,
white
just
people.
half right. It would be amazing.
Well, there's so many
I
stories.
can't
like that.
even. Go ahead, Steve.
No, you go, please.
I can't even, because I mean the strike at Shia Ghul is basically, you know, the men and the women in the White Tower are fighting. The women want to do one plan, the men want to do something else. The women's plan becomes operationally impossible. So
It almost destroyed the world.
well, yeah. So the only plan left is the men's plan, and the men are like, okay, well, time to go do this, and the women are like, no, we're still not doing it. And the men go,
okay,
what do you mean
die.
we're still not doing it? Then we're going to die. And they go, no, we're still not doing it. So the men just say, fuck it, and go off on their own. And the men save the world.
Well, yeah.
There's no way in fuck Amazon's doing that.
That's
Oh no, yeah. Well, and there's always what I've always liked about that is there's always the debate, and I think you guys always know what side of that debate I land on, and that's always you know, if the women went, would the men's half even have been tainted? Because the
No.
women's theory behind that is it would just be both, and I call bullshit.
Yep.
I think I think they could have had circles upon circles made, and nothing would have happened. They would have just sealed the board. So that's too much. There's too much debate in that. It's you know, it's got to be. There's no way they do strike. It's just too male heavy, right? But I mean, but so what? I mean, there are so many. That's why like this whole just generic White Tower thing just baffles me because, like Tripp said, you know, there's IO women all over the place. Aemon, you know, the freaking Fall of Manethren's got a strong, freaking crazy ass queen who's powerful as shit. Who you know, there's all kinds of stories that could be told with powerful women and just a bunch of actual lore that's in there that you could build off and make, you know, you could put some of your own stuff in there, but you're building off a good, strong foundation, not just the White Tower. It's like, oh, so it's now Hogwarts and Randland. That's what we're doing. Girls who's destined to do magical things goes and learns to do magic. I mean, that's totally what I feel like if it happens, that's what we're gonna get. I don't know.
And I was wrong. It doesn't have one producer from Amazon's Wheel of Time. It has two producers.
So I have a question, guys. Like, what would you prefer? Would you prefer at the moment, with everything working the way that it's working in, you know, these studios, would you prefer them to try and animate a story from the world of Randland, or would you prefer them to try to do something completely off script and different or whatever? What would you prefer?
I think whatever they do, it's going to have the same diversity, equity, and inclusion talking points behind it. They could make a show about brown paper bags, if they would have the brownest paper bag be oppressed. Do you know what I mean? Like, because that's all that they got to work with. Whatever the character's name are, whatever the setting is it's fucking irrelevant. We gotta celebrate victimhood. We gotta talk about men bad and capitalism bad and eat the bugs. I mean, it sounds insane, but yet show me a show where they're not doing that. And I know there are a couple out.
No, I think so. I think I would rather them just do this because they're not ruining any lore.
That's my point. I'll prefer them to stay away from the established lore and just make up some shit.
Because
you don't think this is gonna tie into the established lore? I think you guys are nuts.
Of course it's going to, but like at least there's still events that should be somewhat safe. I mean, look, we're fooling ourselves, right? We're not. This is gonna ruin Wheel of Time till probably we're dead, and gone, and then somebody will pick it up off the ground and be like, "Oh, hey, freaking remember this failed project? Let's make it good, right?"
I'm pretty sure they'll all be speaking Chinese and learning about Chinese
so
stuff,
like,
and our shit will be gone, which is kind of the whole point of everything they're doing, if we're honest about it.
That's what makes me angry about this whole thing. This was our shot for all of us that have been waiting for this, and it's gone. And you know, as much as I would hope that we could get something good Wheel of Time on the screen at some point, it's going to be years and years and years before that even has a possibility of happening, right? So
I bet it's gonna be Show Nynaeve's great grandmother. How much you want to bet?
Probably. I think that's how they'll tie it in, or and then she'll be the Amerlin, and that's how Nynaeve is connected with her.
Spoilers.
Fucking, her fucking, you know, her whatever it is. Alex is about to pop, but there's no spoilers. I didn't say anything. Did I spoil anything?
No, never
grandmother
mind.
from the show is Nynaeve's not the Emerald in the books. You're fine, reporter. You're good.
No.
No, it's like
or is she?
Oh yeah, right. Yeah,
I know.
Oh boy,
I know.
but yeah. So I don't know. So fuck yeah. So I don't know. I don't care, but I do. I'm gonna if it comes out, I'm gonna watch it and destroy it. I'm more interested in where the hell these animated shorts disappeared to that we were supposed to get 2 months ago. Remember those guys?
2 years?
3
No,
years 2 months ago. Remember? No. So it was what man? Where you remember we watched this? What was that on, Alex? That they said, "Oh, we're gonna have these animated shorts come out."
It was a while ago. It was a while.
Yeah, that was
ago.
I think back in February at New York Comic Con.
Yeah.
Yeah, the New York Comic Con. That's what it was. Oh, animated shows are gonna come out before the show premieres. Where are those at? Where are
I bet
they?
you they're saving them for next week. I bet you they're going to drop them there.
That's why I sort of asked. Is are they going to dump a few of them on us, or are we going to get it? So San Diego Comic Con, I actually am planning on streaming while it's going. I don't know if there's a virtual ticket. I know that the last time I think you bought the virtual ticket, they fucking blocked out everything, so you couldn't see it anyways.
Yeah.
But I may just stream live and just hang out, and because it came up online almost immediately after, at least a version of it, if I remember right. So I may stream during the panel just in case something drops. They have to drop something, don't they?
It's 2 to 3 o'clock West Coast time. It's only for 1 hour on Thursday, July 20th. Yeah. Right. So I mean, and I'm free at that time too. So just kick me a link because if there's any way that we can do it, and if we need to pre-register, we can all corral on that and try and ride somebody's PC.
I'm sort of hesitant to buy it because we tried that. Alex, Super Spy Alex, who went to what was it, Wheel of Time Con? But was it Wheel of Time Con you went to? I don't remember which one it was.
No, it was Dragon Con.
I don't remember which one it was.
Thanks, Trip. I agree. They won't have a trailer, and so they'll show these animations.
So you think So that's what I want to know from the chat, and I want to read this member chat from Noporio, who's been a member for 10 months. Thank you, buddy. But I'm curious. Tell me in the chat. Do you think we're going to get a trailer? Do you think we're going to get a sneak peek? Do you think we're going to get these animations? And if we get the animations, are we going to get more than one, or do we think it's just going to be one little itty bitty animation? Because the 20th is what? Just over a month out. It's got to be a trailer.
Has to be.
It's got to be.
If you look at the way that they've traditionally dropped trailers, if they drop 2 trailers, they generally drop one at 100 days, and they drop one at about 20 days before the release of the season. And we didn't even get the 100-day trailer. So I'm assuming we're gonna get something. Oh, and
I something, right? Let me read this member chat. Hey, Noporio's been a hero of the horn for 10 months. Thanks, bud. Hey, I figure I may use up this milestone. Thanks for having me on with you guys, and thanks for being on hand to talk about this stuff. Heartbreaking. It really is. Thank you, buddy.
I wasn't just referring to Wheel of Time. I was referring to entertainment in general.
Yeah.
There have been points where it's really hurt. I mean, as much as I hate to say it, Picard Season 3 really hurts, and Game of Thrones Season 8 really hurt too. So those were two things.
You know what? Indy sort of hurt, man. I don't know.
That too.
It sort of hurt.
I mean, what's weird was I was
hurt.
Indy was because of all this that's been going on. I was kind of expecting that, so I wasn't. It didn't hurt me because I was already kind of dull to it.
Yeah, I don't know. I was, but I didn't expect it to be so bad. So it didn't hurt to some of these other things, but man.
Cheers to Staple Bow, who's joined us. We've also got Kanan Clausen is in the house, Dave Z Dude, and I'm trying to catch up. We've got Robert Moore, Craig Allbuck. You guys are beauties. Thanks for being here. If you have questions or there's something you'd like to focus on, we may get to it if we have any brain cells. We'd love to hear some of your questions or comments. By the way.
Absolutely. Just throw any ats or get one of our attention. We're just winging it, man. So, but so are we sort of, So, Salty, you think we're just getting animation? You don't think we're going to get a trailer at all?
You know, if they drop that trailer, they're dead. If they show us, I'm not trying to be funny, but imagine. I mean, okay. I mean, imagine now. I've shared this tweet many times on your channel in my videos of what their own lore. No. This is something different. Of what their own lore experts said. Okay, that season 1 had its challenges, but I'm gonna paraphrase here. You won't fucking even know what we're doing in season 2. Like your head is going to explode. Is pretty much what she said. But don't worry. In 3, some adults came on board. That seems to be what it was. But if that's the case, and again, look at all the marketing materials that we've been given. They are all from what appears to be the same episode or the same 2 episodes. Okay, there is virtually nothing about Rand at all. And I've been going through and trying to clip literally tenths of a second still frames from some of their teaser trailers, because that's all you get of the Dragon Report. You get a lot of Nynaeve, you get a whole lot of Rosamund Pike, you know, in Perrin with his mouth hanging open, but you don't get any of what one would expect with the Great Hunt, you know. Not to mention, where did it leave us at the end of season 1? Okay, like Rand buggered off. You know, Tarwin Gap never happened. I mean, like, I don't know. I'm going to save it for my video in another show, but I really am convinced this is becoming the Nynaeve show.
Are you saying are you saying that gap that was right by Thaldara was not Tarwin's gap?
I don't know. I'm a divisive book fan, Nerd Pearl. You can't believe a word that I say. So, but I do have something to share. And the reason why I'm sharing this is the only trailer we have gotten to date. And I wanted to pause. Yeah. Just let me know when you want to, but I got it backed up because there's some stuff I want you guys to look at. So
do you know what the deal to the rights of the Wheel of Time is? Would they actually have the rights to do anything not relating to the books? I'm not sure the specific rights, but I mean, it's not like those are. There's nothing written about some of these historical events, so it's not in the pages. So I think they have the rights to it.
Yeah, from my understanding, they have the rights to basically everything in the Wheel of Time universe. That Bandersnatch group, which is the one competing entity that might have an argument for it, which is basically the Robert Jordan estate, basically doesn't have anything, and that's the reason that the Winter Dragon was made was to extend the rights that Red Eagle Media, now known as IWAT, had at the time. So, yeah.
Real quick though, again, thank you, Nerporio. You don't have to do that, but thank you. Staplebow is now a Dragonsworn. Thank you very much again, buddy. But go ahead.
There's a lot of information, and this is important. This is why I keep going back to what they put out right before the show came out, and then has excuse articles when the show was out. But this is important. Amazon paid more money for the rights to Wheel of Time than HBO did for the Game of Thrones. Think about that one a second. Think about that. And this is what they've done with it. Money. What's that?
They just love burning money, though. Like that's
true.
I mean, I read that article that you did too about Selkie or whatever, and that seems to be the playbook, right? It's literally, she is like the chick with the husband's credit card. It's kind of nuts.
Yeah. So they're not listing it out here, but Amazon gave him 11,000 notes on the pilot episode alone. So apparently this adaptation was in production since 2000. You want to tell me what we got on screen was in production for 21 years?
No. So what this is saying is, in regards to the 11,000 notes thing, what happened was they sent this stupid script out to like 30 people. 30 people made notes on the episode. Then they compiled them all. And he went, I got 11,000 notes on it. And it's like, no, all 30 people gave you the same fucking note, that your fucking show and your line was shit. Yeah. So the idea that Amazon gave him 11,000 notes and it was like one guy change 11,000 things about the episode is bullshit. And then second of all, the idea that has been in the works since 2000, sort of, Like NBC had it in 2000.
Exactly.
NBC sat on it, didn't do anything with it, so the rights reverted back to fucking Bandersnatch. Then Bandersnatch sold it to Red Eagle, and then Red Eagle had it for forever. And then they decided to make the Winter Dragon to extend their rights because they were in conversations to sell it to Sony, and then Sony let Amazon pay to produce and Jesus, what is this word? To show it.
Produce it.
Develop it.
Produce it and premiere it, basically.
Because it's been optioned several times, right? Just nobody did anything with it.
Yeah, I mean,
so it's so much of this is half truth, you know. Just like in my opinion, that guy Rick Stentz or whatever the hell his name was behind this animated show, saying he's been a lifelong fan of Robert Jordan's world, without, you know, and that the White Tower is the biggest thing. I don't know how you could read these books and say that what drew you into this story was the cunty White Tower. You know, I mean, I don't know how you do it.
How could, if you've read the whole series, how is that, like, how? Out of all the places, things, groups, how could you say, oh, the White Tower is like?
Well, you can't, but
for all the reasons. Go ahead, Alan.
You can't, but people do. Like, there is a small percentage of the readership that is what they think, right?
Yeah, I guess that's true. I just don't. I don't know how.
That's who's making it. That's who's making the show.
Yeah.
Ideologically captured people.
Yeah,
Steve, you got something real quick? I see his
I do, and why I want to bring this up is I have a couple questions I want to ask you guys, and then I'll bugger off, I swear to God. But here we go. I'm going to go ahead and check the volume, so it's not going to blow you up. Okay. You will all recognize this, but I'm going to pause it in certain places, okay?
Oh, is this the trailer? Oh, God. You're making us watch this shit? Hey, they're on the beach.
Who else was on a beach, you remember?
Nerdtorious,
you did a great imitation.
This is where Rey Skywalker jumps out of a Star Destroyer and slashes them both, but Moraine blocks it with her staff.
I'm getting there. Hold on.
He was peeing in there while that smoke was going through there, by the way. I saw it.
Do you think that's the real Wheel of Time right there?
What? No.
The
wheel? No, I think
so maybe maybe that's the real wheel that the books never covered, you know.
I really think the wheel is just Rand's gonna fuck off for freaking the whole show, and then he's gonna be chained up in front of Falme, and that's where we're gonna see him again. You know, freaking he's gonna get imprisoned or some shit in Caraheen, and Moraine's gonna free him by doing political nonsense.
I want to know who everybody thinks this is.
That's Min, isn't it?
Yeah, that's Min.
I don't think. Are you sure?
It's either Min or her aunt. It's one of the other.
I'm sure. The only thing this could possibly be is like the right at the end of the Great Hunt sort of thing.
It could be any number of one-off women Aes Sedai characters, but
I was wondering if this.
I do think it's.
I was wondering if this was Celine.
No.
I get it, but
there won't be a Celine. Celine won't exist. It's going to be Lanfear.
That's a good question, right? That's a good point, right? Because they've announced Natasha or whatever as Lanfear, which is whatever. But yeah, are they going to have a Celine?
No, Celine's not going to. No, because Celine's whole story is in the Portal worlds, and she's
which I think Tripp's comment from before, right? I think she's right about that. I think they'll do Flicker as an animated, which
no. I think Tripp's right. They'll have the Portal Stones. Yeah, she said that the Portal Stone will be an animated thing. Anything actual like book related will be some bullshit animation, short animation. It'll be better than anything they produce. But if they eliminate the Portal Stones, Rand is not traveling with Huron and Loyal. There is no reason to have Celine whatsoever.
They're not together. Yeah. I mean, you got Loyal. Like what? Where the hell is he? I don't even know what he's doing. Apparently, he's with Aaron.
Who, Rand?
That's why I was at Loyal.
Who knows?
In the show,
he ends up with fucking the car salesman in the Sean Chen Empire. So I guess he's with Loyal.
That's why I asked if this was Celine, because any chance they have to put a female of color in a role for anything, they're going to put it in there. You know, and I was just wondering if this is some half-ass thing because this doesn't look like Min to me. This does not look like Min.
It does to me, and it looks like the haircut that they've given.
I'm pretty sure somebody I remember when this first came out, somebody lightened it up, and it's either Min or
No.
it's her
It's
one
not
of
Min.
her aunts that they've cast. So
It's not.
um,
I think it's Celine. I'm gonna put
oh,
20
Celine's
bucks
not
on
going to
that.
be in this.
Oh, let's
I'll
put
bet
50
you
on it,
20 bucks
Cody.
right now. There's no Celine.
All right,
if it
that's
was,
what I wanted to show you.
so the problem with that, so Celine still looked like Lanfear. She's just she didn't change anything. So like Celine. So if that was Celine, it should be Natasha O'Keefe.
Okay.
That's all.
No, you guys can yell at me. I think this is Lanfear.
That's Lanfear? Nah, that's a fade.
No,
Land.
that's Ishii. That's
Is it?
Ishii going to the board to
Oh,
let
yeah.
Lanfear out.
I don't know.
You think
Because
so?
I'm looking at the height.
Wearing Lance.
And I'm
he's wearing
looking,
Lance boots.
and I talked to 2 women about this. Look at the legs, and look at the height, and look at the size of this person. And 2 women that I went to, even though I know women's bodies very well. I wanted to get a female perspective, and they're like, "That's a chick. That's a woman." So that's why I just think this is Lanfear. Now maybe I'm wrong.
She's wearing Lance boots if it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's Lanfear. It looks like
I
a
have
guy
another-
to me. It looks like a short man to me.
I
But,
have
mean,
another thing that I'm going to show you that this is why I think it is Lanfear. Now watch this. See that? It takes about a second, but I want you to look at the dreadlocks on the horsewoman.
what's the need, right?
Boy, right. That's their
It's
shoulder
their
pad.
dreadlocks. They're dreadlocks. I looked at it like on a big ass 4K TV, and but yeah, they're dreadlocks. And then of course we have another split second scene where I know how to do this. And why I'm doing this is I spend way too much time thinking about this shit, but I wanted to get your guys' perspective on this because here we go. That is the same horse that has ran to where this character is.
Well, that's
Because
LD,
look at-
right?
But that other picture then, that's a fade. Maybe it's one of their girl fades. That's possible.
So that
That is-
apparently
yeah, you're
is
right.
Nynaeve being thrown off the horse. And again, I'm
Now,
looking
that's
at
Moiraine. That's Moiraine's horse, yeah?
Yeah, that's Moraine's
LD.
horse. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's why I was just.
But that's a
Well, just
black-
because it's Moraine's
Okay.
horse doesn't mean it doesn't mean that's Moraine on it. Like so, because I mean, it could be, it could not be. I don't know. I don't like this. I don't know what this thing is. I think that's a fade. I think it's
That's
a
a
fade.
fade.
I don't know.
I think that's Lanfear. And you know, again, I could be wrong. I'm not always right. This is part of what I
take
think
my
about with
15,
season 2 is that nothing is going to make any goddamn sense at all. You know, why would Nynaeve be going after Lanfear, who should be somebody else, and all these other things? It's like you could say that about season 1. But I didn't know. If you guys think I'm crazy, tell me, and we can stop talking
Well, I
about it.
don't
But
think
this
you're
stuff
crazy.
it bothers me. It bothers me because we have no idea what we're going to get any more than we did when season 1 dropped to this crap show.
Well, I mean,
And-
I don't think you're crazy, but it's hard because we have no freaking clue where anybody is or what anybody's doing or what their goals are really going to be for the season. So anybody could literally be anywhere, and I mean, this is a good question right here. For was it Elena Duncan? Thank you, Elena. What exactly do we think they're going to do with Lanfear this season? I think she's going to be obsessed with probably the tower instead of Rand. I don't think they're gonna hook Lanfear up with Rand at all. I don't think they're
I
gonna do
agree.
the whole Lewis Theron bit. I think it's gonna be some obsession with the White Tower and Aes Sedai, and she's gonna be jealous that Egwene or Nynaeve is stronger than her in the One Power, and she's gonna be hellbent on destroying them instead of hooking up with Rand because he's Lewis Theron.
So you don't
Maybe.
think they'll take the opportunity to do the crazy ex-girlfriend trope, but
It'll
switch
be
it to she had a reason.
it'll be a sympathetic backstory where it's a man's fault.
That's what I'm
it'll be
saying.
that
So I
see.
think they'll do that still. I think they'll still do the crazy ex-girlfriend thing, but it'll just be for a different reason.
I don't know. In the little bit we've seen, and that's why I really want to see just any more footage, because I really think the only reason they mentioned the Dragon Reborn as being adapted in this season is to fuck Rand off and have him be eliminated from the show altogether for most of the episodes, And then you could say, well, that's what he did in The Dragon Reborn. And it's like, well, that's great. But there was also all the stuff happening in the background because of him and all that. So if they've fucked him off, let you know.
Yeah, that's.
How are they going to hook him up with Lanfear? What's Lanfear?
And that's why I thought about Celine. What if he found a portal stone? It is now he spends months over there hanging out in some alternate timeline with. I mean, and that's where I went with that because in my opinion, these writers are incredibly lazy, and they're predictable from the standpoint of they're going to do the lazy sitcom, young adult CW tropes.
And I get what you're saying because I see I'm catching what you're pitching, but we got to have at least 3 episodes for Moraine. We got to have the non-Stone of Tyr Falme episode. We got to have we got to have at least 2 episodes of White Tower nonsense. So that's 6 or 7. And then Matt's got to explore his dark side with Leandrin while they're, she's sticking something up his rectum. There's just I don't.
There's not time.
There's not going to be. There's not. There will be no. I don't think there's going to be a calendar. I don't think there's going to be any portal stones. I don't think Celine's going to be a thing. Because those all have to do with Rand and Rand's story in these books, and they don't want to tell Rand's story. They want to tell Moraine's story, like you said, and we've all said they want to tell Moraine's made up story, and they want to tell Egwene and Nynaeve's stories. They're not interested in telling, and I guess Perrin, whatever the hell he's fucking doing, who knows what Perrin is doing? I don't know, but
Perrin's hunting the horn. That's Perrin's job for this.
Yeah. Well, and then there was the fade nailed to a door. I mean, there's no Green Man. I mean, I guess we get Elias, but what the hell is that even going to be about? Because men can't man to work.
Well, I'm still wondering. So this is a good question. Do you think they're going to merge Fael and Elias?
No. I think they're going to merge.
Alex, I want to hear what Alex has to say. He's too handsome not to be talking.
I have a theory that they're going to merge Elias and Fael.
What's that based on?
I could see
just my head. It's based on nothing other than Elias is in the Great Hunt and the Dragon Reborn, where Fael is supposed to be. Now, I think the theory that Avienda is going to take over Fael's duty is probably closer. They're together a lot more. But what other purposes?
No, you're right. You're right, dude.
What other purposes Avienda have to be with Perrin? Why is she there?
To get her introduced early. The only reason that I hesitate to say that I think Fael and Avienda will be combined is that I don't think the show is going to be able to avoid putting Avienda and Elaine together.
You're correct.
Why?
I mean that's the only reason that I think these guys would hesitate remotely to make Avienda and Fael.
So you don't.
Because that's what they talk about, Steve. That's what.
Wait. So why does merging Fael with Avienda eliminate anything to do with Elaine and Avienda? Avienda's not next to Rand for most of the story, and Fael is gone for half the story. I'm not going to spoil. He can just be longing for her while she's in a certain place training instead of in another place being
instead of captured.
Trip nails it. She says, "You think they're going to pass up on a Fael bossing Perrin around?" And then we've got a question from.
If it's Avienda, no. If Avienda is Fael, absolutely not.
From Aline Duncan, who says, "What are your predictions for Ishmael?" Well, he's going to want to upsell me on a good used BMW Subaru to get the extended warranty plan. Other than that, I think it's going to be the same mustache twisting C-tier Bond villain bullshit that we got in season 1.
Well, it's not even a good Bond villain. Like, he didn't.
That's
why
I said C-tier, dude. Like C-tier.
It's like F-tier. It was like, I don't know. They don't know what. Well, first, the biggest problem I have with the whole Ishmael thing right now is there is no indication in this show that Ishmael is Ishmael. They all still
there's
think
no
he's
stakes.
The Dark One.
Who gives a shit what happened?
Everybody still calls him the Dark One. There's like the only reason anybody calls him like as far as we can be concerned, he's the Dark One in the show. The only reason we call him Ishmael
Now-
is because of the books,
I-
and that's and the books don't exist in this adaptation. So we're calling him Ishmael because of the books, which they've ignored. So right now, for all intents and purposes, he's the Dark One, not Ishmael.
So they've only called him the Dark One in the show, right?
Yeah, they've never called him anything else.
It's
just like
like that was one of my when I was watching that finale or whatever you call that with you guys, live stream my reaction. I was just like you took out the third to last chapter of the book for this. Nothing fucking happens. There's no fight. Apparently they felt Agenor and Balthamel and the Green Man were not interesting enough for the story to incorporate, and so you bring in the big bad Balsamon, he's not even called Balsamon, right? In the show, the Dark One, and I mean they tease Balsamon, like they show his face with the fiery eyes and the fiery mouth and everything, and what we get is him, and I mean even. If you look at the comic, Balsamon looks younger. He's Aes Sedai, so he looks younger. I mean, he's supposed to be a handsome dude, and he's supposed to be terrifying, and he's supposed to be like you said, Steve. He's supposed to be fucking nuts.
He's insane as he thinks he is the Dark One, but he's not because he's fucking nuts.
Yeah.
Like, what is it? Are you adding this picture? Because
I'm adding this picture because this, and sorry for the shitty quality. I shot this on my TV when it was on before I was even monetized.
Oh, the quality was already not there.
Yeah. So this occurred in I think it was episode 2 or 3. This was Perrin's dream where there's a wolf with glowing eyes ripping out his dead wife's entrails. Because that all needed to happen for some reason.
Yeah.
But this was the glowing hockey mask dude that was in Perrin's dream that we never see again.
I think we see him again. Sort of.
Do we?
We see him, and then he turns into the used car salesman.
Exactly.
And I was just like,
"Is that where it was?"
I'm like,
he takes the illusion off.
I don't even remember that.
I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Well, my point with that is that throughout the books, there's the dreams.
Yeah.
There's the dreams that all of the boys, they're having, and this is what we get: we get a hockey mask with LEDs, and then apparently we get the hockey mask with LEDs in episode 8, and then it turns into the used Subaru car salesman. And so we're talking about the Dark One and all this other bullshit, and I'm like, where do you go from here?
And like those dreams where they're running in this weird, creepy maze and all that.
That was the worst part with the stairs and the burning and the fire and the maze. All gone from this show.
And Robert Jordan, I think, had I know he wasn't ever a television writer, but I swear he had, I swear he thought of it like. The way it was written and the way it was described made me feel like I was watching a TV show.
Every scene was blocked and put in there, and you had stage direction, and all you have to do is hire some competent craftspeople and a cinematographer to shoot this damn thing. If they wanted to make 3 seasons of something, just make 3 seasons of The Eye of the World and The Great Hunt. That's all you have to do. You could end it, if you wanted to, at what the actual ending of The Great Hunt is, and it would be a satisfying fantasy show.
I got a quick question for you guys. If they did a true adaptation of the first episode of Eye of the World, they did a first episode. I think the episode would end where chapter 6 ends. So it's after Winter Night. It's when Rand is dragging his father into the woods. Or do you think it would end after chapter 5? The Winter Night itself.
I would have an episode. So I would have episode 2. Sorry to jump in.
I've got my own breakdown for the entire book. I've got it. I'm going to do that in a video. So let me look real quick. So
go out, Dan. You go, sir.
If I was doing it, I would have an episode of what you just said, Nerdman, of Rand, with dragging Tam through the forest, basically, like to get back to back home. So yeah, I probably would do what you said, mate. I would have episode end with Winter Night, and then episode 2 I would have Rand dragging Tam through the bush to get there, and then episode 3 would be the the result of Winter Night or whatever, and the destruction and that sort of thing. And then you would have and you would obviously do the Manetheren speech properly with Moiraine and that sort of stuff.
Do you think that would be a great way to end the episode with the Manetheren speech?
I think there needs to be more build up in episode 1. I think the coins being left out is a major faux pas. I think her not being announced as Aes Sedai when she comes in the village is a major faux pas. So I think there needs to be build up ending with sort of the events of Winter Night kicking off, and then episode 2 being Rand focus. I think we should have spent almost. God, that is like one of the best scenes of the goddamn whole series. Is him pulling Tam through the damn forest.
That's what I'm saying. I would have a whole episode do that.
What episode 2 is. That should be where episode 2 starts. In the way I did my breakdown, the goddamn show had the prequel from the books in it, starting from the very beginning.
100%.
Okay, because that is so essential to all of this, because you understand, I mean, and then show the passage of time, whether it's time elapse and how the planet is changing and the oceans in different places and all this other stuff, to then grind to a halt in tiny little Emmons Field. You know, talk about hooking the viewers. It's like Rafe Judkins literally went to the book of all the stupid shit you don't do when making a television show, and like, let's do all those, you know, let's subvert everybody's expectations.
But again, Salty, you've got to. He didn't just do that because he wanted. He did that because he comes from that percentage of the fandom, but that's how they see the story, right?
Well, and he also had Amanda Schumann. Yeah. And Amanda Schumann came. He said, and I've got a video, and I'm going to show it. All of your reactions to it. Rafe Judkins said Amanda Schumann. He couldn't have made this show without Amanda Schumann, who is the best writer that he knew, who knew nothing about the books.
Yeah, great.
And she's who wrote the show. And that's who's writing several episodes in season 2, including episode 1. Her name is on the script, A Taste of Solitude, Amanda Schumann.
Great. So it's going to be shit. Alex, what do you think, man? Because I want to get your take on Nerpoyo's question, too.
As much as I hate to say it, I think I end it basically right before they leave. And as much as it guts me to do it, you basically have. I wouldn't have the Weep from Netherland speech. It's long, and it's.
Well, couldn't you do it as a cold open for episode 2?
See, cold open for episode 2.
Yeah, I mean, sort of you do a time lapse thing. You I mean, just spitballing. You do that, and then you catch up to them on the road to Shadow Logoth.
Hang on, I think I had something.
You could. I don't know. It's just.
I would have ended it as soon as the Trollocs burst in the door after they sat down to eat, and then you don't know what happens. And then you pick up episode 2 with Rand dragging Tam through the woods with flashbacks of what happened in the fighting, and then you go into it and you take your fucking time with it. Because that is too important. It is one of the most key scenes that keeps you reading the first book of this series. And they deliberately omitted it. Now, why? I don't know. Because a son can't show love for his father, because that would cast men in a positive light. Is that literally the kind of people that we have making our entertainment? Sadly, I think yes. You know, what does that say about season 2? And I'll shut up because I'm getting pissed off.
Bro.
I'm sorry.
No, you're good. I love it.
My ideal cold open for episode 2 is. Sorry, go ahead.
10 episodes. It's got to be 10. Like, that's the other thing too. 8 is bullshit. It's got to be 10.
2-hour premiere and outro. Yeah. Sorry.
That's an entirely different conversation. At that point, you can fit in a lot more.
I mean, we used to have 13 episodes. We used to have 13, 15 episodes. I mean, I'm watching Justified again. I got 13 episodes of goodness that are an hour long on FX. Why can't we get why is it all of a sudden 8 episodes for everything? Give me 10. Like, if it's good, people are gonna watch it. So
because it's so expensive to make them now.
I don't know, but see, you're right. But where's the money going? But sorry, go ahead. Where you stop it?
So my cold open for episode 2 was Moiraine and Siwan getting dispatched to look for the Dragon Reborn after hearing the prophecy. Actually,
30
it
watching.
was them hearing
Thank
the
you, guys.
prophecy and then getting sent out.
Yeah.
Okay, that would be so. That's because I think that'd be good because that gives you some history on Moraine and so on. And
Well, they only had $80 million. They only had $80 million for season
Only.
1, guys. I mean, how could they
Only.
have shot all of this? Now, again, I've said this before.
I mean, they went 50% over budget.
Yeah,
I did really want to, because Elena had asked earlier, and I don't want to hit spoilers here, but what favorite villain I think is what was asked. Favorite villain in the book. It's hard for an Emporio might be. Thank you. All right, we can just stop with because that's the right answer. I was gonna say Savannah, but I mean that's not funny. Fuck that bitch. Oh, sorry.
Elaine.
What's that?
Elaine.
Elaine.
Wow.
Egwene and Elaine, the best villains of the series, right?
Wow.
You know what's funny? It's an Emporio away.
Sure.
Not being silly. I think the best villain is the best villain is Eladia.
I agree. Traditionally, as a traditional villain, I would agree.
Not even being 100%. She gets the most accomplished for the dark side.
Yeah.
Over everybody.
She's
for the dark one.
Dolores Umbridge wishes she was Eladia.
I hate that bitch. I still get the screaming memes and yell at the television whenever the Order of the Phoenix comes on. I mean, like, I hate that woman. She reminds me of like a 3rd grade teacher I had that would literally wash our mouths out with the powdered soap they had in the early 80s. You know?
Chat, what's favorite villains? I know you guys were listening them. I think I missed them because we were getting into this cool conversation, but because that sort of leads into, because I made a video about this, but I want to get your guys' takes too, because it as Nerporio said as he was laughing at me while I was making my rant video.
I agree, Jane, at class, and I'm just going to say that.
Killed me. Say what? Oh, okay.
No, I was just agreeing with a comment. Sorry, go ahead.
Okay, we'll get to that one in a minute. But Sam 8000, my man, $5. Just started reading The Fallen, the first book Robert Jordan ever wrote. Oh, no shit. I've never read it. Is it good? Are you enjoying it? I know Aldan sent me some reading material that I'm gonna have to get to, but
yeah, man, you need to read that. I'm almost finished with that Danny series. That is off the chain. It's so good. And the author bloke was on I watched a video of the author on Mike's book reviews the other day, and he was talking about his books because it's Wheel of Time influence and that sort of thing or whatever, and people say that it's similar. And he was saying, yeah, and he was asking me about adaptations, about whether or not you're going to adapt your work, and the dude's like, nah. He's like, well, I'm open to it, but I watched what they did with the Wheel of Time, and nah.
No, is that really? All right.
Yeah, that's legit. That's what he said. So read his book.
So I'm definitely gonna, because I was gonna pick it up. I saw your DM, so I'm definitely gonna hit it. So yeah. So but the whole villain thing, and I know we don't. So don't pay attention to chat for a little bit. I don't think you're gonna get too bad of spoilers, but at least not obvious ones for me. But this infuriated me to no end because they basically said that in essence keeping Bothamal, Agnor, and in turn the Green Man out of the finale of the first season will make for a better overall Forsaken storyline later in the series, and I call bullshit. And I'm curious, do you guys think that not having Bothamal and Agnor is a big deal or not? Now, I'm pretty sure I know what the answer is, but I would like to hear from you guys, because I know it pissed me off them saying what they said, but I could read the article if you haven't seen it, but
it's one of the dumbest thing. It's one of the dumbest things ever, and they talk about the book like it's like without you're talking about the show, and you pointed this out, and it's just like this is what you're building up to in a fantasy. You're building up to a final thing that tests the main character or tests all the characters. I mean, Moraine gets her ass kicked during this part, and it's Rand that Rand and the Green Man managed to dispatch both of those Forsaken, and it's a terrifying thing. I had Dragon Ball Z type imagery as the fight was carrying out. Like I seen rocks going in the air, the ground, flames coming out and everything. I had anime. I was imagining it as an anime and everything. So I'll be honest, the balefire thing to me,
there are
and I've
various...
said this, the balefire thing I imagined as a Kamehameha when I read Dragon Reborn. Just saying.
Go ahead, Alex.
Sorry.
Big fan. I'm very similar. So I can see maybe getting rid of one of them, but there is a very important plot point that needs to happen. One of them needs to be turned. So
careful.
Something needs to happen with that. I'm trying to be as spoiler free as possible.
I said it in my video. One of the things, because they took the over channeling thing and they gave it to Nynaeve and then healed her, right, instead of letting it be Agnor. Like, there were things that happened in there that they thought they were smart, and they gave it to sort of shifted it over to other characters in the show a little bit, and thought they were just like, oh, we still have them in there, so it's okay, even though it completely took the effect away and the dramatic stuff and all that. So
take a look at Gadfly Fiction. That underscores a lot of what you two do. Everybody's been saying. Yeah.
Okay, these two characters. Okay, so Gadfly, these two characters who we don't have the brains to understand their significance are unessential to the story, and thus it's better that they're not present. There you go.
Yeah,
I think that sums it up pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, I think you're right. I guess you could get rid of one of them, but why? And the only reason you get rid of Bathamol is so you don't have to have the Green Man kill him, and the only reason you get rid of Agnor is so that Rand doesn't have to have showdown with him. That's it. I mean, for me, that's why they got rid of him, was because they didn't want them having those fights.
Well, I mean, what did they say? That Book 2, The Great Hunt, and The Dragon Reborn are just essentially the same book.
Well,
so they're just gonna combine both of them, and that answers your question. Why did they leave them out? Because they're lazy. Because, I mean, again, you don't want this to be about about Rand al'Thor. You want this to be about Egwene, Nynaeve, and Rosamund Pike.
Yeah, well,
and I mean, I'm convinced of that. Like, that's why they're getting rid of these people.
So does that mean it's? I see. I think lazy's even being too nice. I think they want to give those moments to other people.
And that's my video.
So it's insidious. It's not, we want to give the burning out to Nynaeve. We want to give Rand's thunderstorm to some chick who has one line mentioned about her in the Eye of the World. That's also a growing trend that's happening here. If you're paying, and I know you all are, and I hope you guys are watching some of my videos, at least part of them. We keep hearing the line, there's too many characters to adapt all of them. We can't have all these people on staff, blah, 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 blah. But then we will give parts to people that are mentioned in one line, in one page, in one paragraph, in one book, that nobody remembers their names, and then we're going to give Moraine's sister a palace in Carhian and a whole row doing Deus Daemar, and they're going to have, they're going to talk, they're going to sit on the pillows and go, oh, how's Suwan? Have you guys hooked up lately? Are you going to have, are you guys going to be pregnant somehow because you guys are gay lovers? And you can use my Portal Stone to go see her in tear. It's like,
Thumb Maryland. Take a look at Thumb Maryland, because it's exactly what you said. I didn't want to cut you off.
No, you're good.
This is just. I want you to read this and not break anything important.
This one?
There it is. Yep.
They had to cut Bathma, Agnor, and the Green Man to make room for Dana, Steppen, Suwan, and the. Yep, exactly, 100%.
That's it.
Excuse me.
That's it.
Absolutely. No, that's it. That's exactly right.
That is it. That is exactly right.
It's like, we do not have room for her in, but Moraine's sister, she's in. We do not have room for Portal Stones and Loyal to go on a trip with Rand.
And Min's aunt. We got Min's aunt.
We got Min's aunt, right? Exactly.
Yeah. Because the sexuality, politics, gender, skin color of the actor or actress cast was needed by Amazon to hit their diversity, equity, and inclusion goals. Therefore, that's why we did it. I mean, and we're going to see even more of that in season 2. I'm absolutely convinced of that.
Oh God, yeah. I mean, it's. I mean, it's just like if anybody believes this crap anymore, if you're paying attention at all, it's just like, no, we got to cut this important character. Like, do we think Julian Sandar is going to make the cut?
No, they'll just have one. It'd be Huron.
I don't think they're going to have either of them.
I'm pretty sure. I've seen a still shot that looks like someone is probably going to be. They'll have one of them.
I strongly disagree, my friend.
But let's put a case of beer on that as well then. So far, I've got Salty owe me 50 for the land fear thing.
Okay.
Oh, I never said 50. I never said 50. Is it 50 Australian dollars? I'll do that because that's like 25 cents, man. That's fine.
Yeah, I
know.
Oh,
Man.
About 30 bucks.
I don't think there's.
I know. I'm fucking with you.
If they're eliminating Matt from the Stone of Tyr and from Fall May, there's no reason to have Julian. Tom isn't in season 2, so without Tom, there's no reason for Julian. Without Matt, there's no reason for Julian. Without Rand and the Portal Stones, there's no reason for Huron because you have Elias and you have Perrin both being sniffers.
Maybe all right. So maybe Elias, Huron, and
I think
and
so.
Julian,
So
maybe
I
it'll be
may have that wrong. Elias and Huron may
roll into
merge.
one.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. I'll take my bet back because you might be right.
I got you.
Listen
Yes.
to this. If I win, you got to wear that hat for 2 years. You can't wash your hair.
Oh, no, I might be already based
Money,
on
okay.
Alex
All right,
this morning.
Go ahead, Alex.
So I disagree with both Salty and Steve. I disagree with Salty to the idea that there's no way Rafe Judkins ever needed the Amazon DIE policy.
I know. I think that was in the background. That's in the background of all of these productions.
I'll bet you Rafe Judkins wrote this, cast it, and the Amazon DIE guy walked in, looked at it, and went, "This is the best thing I've ever seen. A+.
I think you're right.
Good job."
I think you're right. And you saw the result. I mean, what was it, 50% over budget? It looked terrible. Where that $80 million went, I don't know if it went up somebody's nose or I don't know where, but it sure wasn't on screen. It sure wasn't on screen.
Yep. And then I'm going to say that I disagree with Steve. There's no way that Moraine and her sister are nice to each other. This is classic girl bitching drama.
That's all it is, and it's going to be written by Amanda Schumann, who's going to take the humor of Chuck. It's going to be young adult, bitchy girl bullshit.
Okay, so I think. Wait. Okay, and I have nothing. I have no basis, so maybe I should write this down for my Wheel of Time Zero video. I have no basis. My fake spies are giving me this information. Okay, I think that. Moraine's going to show up just in time to help her sister overcome the evil brother, or is it cousin that they cast?
Oh, God,
because he is doing bad things in Carhian, and Moraine has to help his sister, her sister, to take over. So when she leaves, when she figures out how to cure herself with the power of love, she cures her shielding. She breaks through the shield because she loves herself so much. And then she helps her sister kick her brother out of Carhian, and she takes over.
Wow, you are right. That is totally the plot. That is totally what's going to happen. The first episode, she's going to get there. They're going to be really shitty to each other. Moraine's sister's going to be salty she left for the White Tower. And then together they are going to team up to beat her evil half-brother. Wow, I want to kill myself.
I bet you there's going to be a scene like in Nerd Pearl, you're the Star Trek guy, when Picard goes home and after the war. What's the name of that episode? Do you remember where he goes home with his brother and has that fight with his brother and they get in a fight in the mud?
Yeah, family.
Okay, so is it family? It's going to be the same thing with them. I guarantee you they're going to steal shit.
Family,
like that.
Family was going to be Family was a great fucking episode.
I know, but we're talking about Wheel of Time though. I'm just saying, like, I bet you they're going to steal the iconography of that with her, and then they'll start laughing, and then they'll hug, and it will be exactly what you said, the power of love.
I'm sorry, Silverlock. We're trying to bring humor to this garbage fire that is this show.
I'm sorry, Silverlock rocks. This guy has the best '80s paperbacks. I mean, this guy. You should open your own roadside attraction of all the cool '70s and '80s RPG and fantasy books you have. You're a good dude.
That's a good question. I don't remember. Like I know, and who I think it was Thumb answered it. Were there any leaks for the? Oh, well, they had the leaked script that ended up not being completely changed, right? Is that what leaked last time? Was that horrible script that didn't match up to anything, and they had changed it all?
Someday we're gonna get an answer.
Well,
Someday,
Staplebone
because
said
I've still
Staplebone.
got that PDF, and I'm sure you White Cloaks guys have the PDF of those scripts. It was a very different television show, not better, but just different.
So I don't know. I guess technically that's a leak, but I don't know. I mean, shit. If it's not leaked yet, we can't even get a damn freaking trailer. How are we going to get a leak? I mean, maybe there's nothing to leak.
There's been a script. There's been a couple of leaks. Like there's been the script leaks or whatever
for season 2.
Yeah, for season 2 of like Avi and Perrin talking about swords and that sort of thing. Like there's a couple of leaks for a couple of scenes.
They're stealing that. They're stealing the. Oh, fuck.
Okay. Oh, wait. So you're talking about the script dialogue for when they tested, right? We're calling those real because I think that's what.
But they did the same thing. There was leaks for season 1, which were the same sort of thing, which were like testing.
No, I agree because we were talking about that when they came out. Yeah. No, when they came out, those for testing for the parts, we were reading them. I was giving my Avi end.
Yeah, that'll be
in the show. Yeah, agreed. Yeah, so I guess you can call those leaks true too, but man, I don't know. I
got one last thing. Here's the thing, and so this is from the same garbage tier website as you, and this is the kind of gaslighting bullshit that they do, and this was immediately, I think after episode 3 or 4, where Screen Rant in 2021 said Wheel of Time's Dragon Reborn prophecy addresses Robert Jordan's gender issues. This is the coverage, like the reasons they're making the change, and Steve, you said it over and over and over again, is that this book simply focuses too much on the boy characters.
Yeah. Well, like
it's just like I just go ahead.
She's talking about like when she's talking about ruining the audiobooks, right? And how she's like, man, I read the book and there were so many men, and it's like, who reads the Wheel of Time and that's their thought? There's so many men around. It's like, what are you talking about? There's women everywhere. Like, what do you mean? There's so many men? Like.
Let me read just 2 sentences. When Robert Jordan wrote the Prophecies of the Dragon for the Wheel of Time books, he used male pronouns throughout. It was never questioned that Luce Theron would be reincarnated as a man, and the Keeper of Foretelling as the Dragon's Birth that used male pronouns. This helped reinforce the idea that the dragon was either Mat, Rand, or Perrin, and played into the ideas of gender essentialism and the gender binary. This is the kind of bullshit thinking. What if it's just a story about a world this guy committed to and created and wrote a bunch of books before he died and let Sanderson finish it, okay? And maybe it's okay that he can have a story about 3 boys without some cunt waffle in 2021 and 2022 telling him that he has a gender problem. Because guess what? I was 20 years old when this fucking book came out. And let me tell you what, guess how many genders we had?
18.
The same amount we have now, okay? Just gonna say that. So this is just bullshit, okay? I mean, I know it's Screen Rant, but to sit here and say the reason why you got this shitty show, which isn't covering Robert Jordan and is playing magical mystery box horse shit and a level even crappier than Bad Robot, is because they're trying to make it so that all the genders that are represented, and because there's a binary magic system, we're going to hear more of this shit in season 2. These arguments are going to be recycled again and again and again, and that's why I'm convinced that the Dragon Reborn is going to be Nynaeve. I'm convinced of it now. I really am. Maybe I'm wrong.
I think it's gonna be one of the girls. I'm still going with the Gwen. But Craig, are you questioning, or did you hear something? That's what I'm trying to mumble out of my mouth, that the trailer might be coming out tomorrow. I don't know. I thought they put Wheel of Time Wednesday on hiatus, but
every What Wednesday is like, it's gonna be the trailer drop next week.
Yeah, I think at this point I would think they're gonna save it for Comic-Con.
Look at the dungeon, dude. Yeah. The ignorant dipshits that wrote this article. You know, I mean, you're absolutely right.
Let me read this out. These people don't understand that if the dragon was a woman, no one would be afraid of her because she wouldn't go mad. The whole point is this is a promised one story with a twist, right? Exactly. Now that's what they never understood from the beginning, that the dragon, to have the effect on the world, the dragon has to be dangerous. If you have a non-insane woman be the dragon, she's not dangerous. She's just a savior. Whereas
one, oxymoron. Two, there are 0 Aes Sedai who I would not be terrified of with the one power.
Correct.
But the general thrust is correct.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Yeah, I mean, and I'll finish this up. Amazon's Wheel of Time TV series fixes Robert Jordan's issue of gender essentialism for a present-day audience by removing the gendered language of those prophecies. Okay, and what did you make? Much like we just said, if you don't have the taint of the male half, that the Dragon Reborn is always a male, then what's the big deal? You can live in your matriarchal, hippie, commune, lesbian utopia, right? I mean...
Dovey. What up, Dovey? And I know you, I may have missed it. I know you gifted a membership, Salty, earlier. I think did I forget who got that? I forgot.
Kevin did.
Kevin,
yeah,
thank you. Salty has gifted you a Dragon Sworn membership. Welcome to the Dragon Sworn. I don't know, man. Like, it's just, I don't know. I feel a need to just, because I keep getting the why do you care so much shit from people, and it's just like,
because we care. That's why we care.
Because
some people care about
Star
Star
Trek.
Trek. Some people still care about The Witcher. I'm one of them, but I stopped watching because I got the goddamn books.
When people say stupid shit like that, you know it's very fucking telling. Very. And then once you hear something like that come out of some asshole's mouth, excuse my language, that's when you don't fucking no. That, I mean, seriously, that's when you stop taking anything that they say seriously. Because they obviously don't care. And when they don't care, I mean, if you care, you care more about this than them, then they're not worthy to have a conversation with.
And the other part is there's plenty of people not telling people necessarily objective, critical opinions about what's going on. Okay? And we may have seen that with Star Trek, Picard. Okay, so some of us were yelling into the wind, and some people who were on this panel got their ass handed to them on Twitter, and they fought back, as right they should. But nobody is up here bitching because we're attention-seeking, rage-farming dickwads. We're here because we genuinely care about this, and this for us is the line in the sand. Okay, this was ours long before this knucklehead Rafe Judkins came along, and Amanda Schumann, who probably still hasn't read the goddamn books. Okay. And then now we're looking at the Rings of Power. How many people even give a fuck about season 2 of the Rings of Power?
It's like The Witcher season 3. Like The Witcher season 3, like it came out, nobody knew, nobody's talking about it. It's just dead. But
it's dumb.
It's like if we don't care and we don't talk, then we get polls about Matt being having queer energy and nobody saying anything. So that's just what's out there. There's no other side of the story, and I'm so tired. It's like, we're called haters a lot, right? Most of us, all of us, probably most of you guys in the chat when you're speaking truth about this series, right? Yeah. The ironic thing for me is the people that are shilling for this I feel like they're the actual haters, because they must hate themselves, because they're willing to just dump away all their morals and their integrity to just clap and try and be noticed by someone that doesn't matter, and just like, you say you love this thing.
Yeah, they're untrustworthy, and these are people these are people you would not want to have. Yep. These are people who would stick a knife, like they would stick a dagger in your back. Like, these are not people you want to have behind your back, and because they've shown that by how they are receiving this Wheel of Time series and praising it, despite the fact that it's detrimental and completely disregards, the source material, which is the reason why that fucking project, that fucking series exists in the first place. It wouldn't exist if it wasn't for if it wasn't for the fans and the readers and the work of the hard work of Robert Jordan, which he unfortunately didn't get to finish himself. Every time I think about it, it still breaks my heart. And they're doing this shit. I mean, he's been gone for 14 years when the season 1 came out, and like this is just, I mean, like there's this one lawyer said during the McCarthy hearings, you sir, you people have no fucking shame.
Yeah. Alex, I mean, the shit that you took on Reddit, I mean, I remember Steve and Nathan coming to me with what you guys were going through, and I didn't go on Reddit, dude. I still don't really go on Reddit. But I mean, you guys were getting banned, and people were infiltrating your sites because you were giving your honest takes on season 1, and it was just a bunch of clapping seals. And because you didn't clap along with everybody else, they took your Reddit, they took your sites, they blocked you guys, and it's like, that tells you that what you're doing is important. If they're trying to kill you, whether it be metaphorically or call you an incel and all the shit that I took for my first couple of videos on this, I didn't know who the fuck the Dusty Wheel was. I still never watched a video that they've ever made, but apparently they're all about this show. But the shit you took, Alex, it was a lot.
They should change their name to the Dirty Wheel.
Well, it's you talk about the disloyalty, and I think, man, if there's one thing that I miss from being able to follow those people on Twitter, it is the ideological purge that they would do every couple of months, where somebody would say something like, hey guys, Matt Cawthon really isn't gay, right? And then they would have like a fucking riot of trying to ostracize this person. Like there was, I remember there was a fucking phenomenal one where one of them liked a J.K. Rowling feminist tweet. Like it wasn't even like one of her trans tweets. It was like, women are awesome and are like super special, and the person liked that, and they fucking ran her out of town. It was fucking wild. So I mean that alone tells you, how these people think. But I think it's even funnier. We need to fix gender essentialism. Why? Gender essentialism is correct. Gender essentialism is accurate.
Imagine
gender
essentialism. Imagine having a degree in this. This is all you do. You can't make a birdhouse. You don't know how to change a tire. You're not adding to the value of humanity. I mean, you're not. I mean, it's a broad generalization, but it's also true. There is nothing of value you are creating for society.
I have it on good authority that the casting was wrong, and Lanfear is my spies for WOT 0 have confirmed that Lizzo is Lanfear. Okay, don't worry.
Maybe that's who's playing Celine. Who knows?
Oh yeah, Celine is Lizzo.
I mean, if the Mandalorian can do it, surely we Prime can.
Oh, well, wouldn't they? They'd love it. They would love it. I reckon I'm with Alex, man. It's crazy. Like it's the lies and it's the lies that are the problem, and the gender essentialism thing. And why would they do that? It's because they have to lie about reality in order to push the message that they want to deliver at the end of the day. And that's what's offensive as a fan when you watch something that is not what's being represented. It's the way that it's the untrue things that are being presented. That's what hurts, and that's why you have to speak up, and that's why you get cancelled in the Twitter spaces. That's why it is what it is, right? I've just got this idea that's been true for 2,000 years, and I'm going to say it. And when the dog pile comes on, it tells you all you need. It tells you all you need to know, and because that's what's being pandered to. And I think that someone had a question in the chat before about whether or not season 2 is dead on arrival.
Oh, I think it was Elena again asked about Rings of Power season 2. I think they're both DOA, but
they're both DOA. Yeah, correct.
We've never gotten the actual metrics as to the completion rate for Wheel of Time season 1, have we? Did you guys at the White Cloaks ever find that? I can't find it. I got metrics. Their biggest, what they put out for a while was that it was really big in India because they had Indian actresses in the show. Nothing for the United States, Canada,
Sort of tracks
anything
stuff,
else.
but I don't know.
Well, the other thing that's funny about this is it was not well liked in India because the Indian
India's
audience,
based.
Yeah, India's based as fuck. India
It's
saw this
true.
and went, "What the actual fuck? Why am
It
I
was
watching
one
this show?"
region. Amazon, there was an executive that came out and said in this particular region of India, it rated really highly. And I'm like, okay, where's the rest of the data for like America and Canada? You know, like the people who, you know, I don't know. It's just, it's weird. I don't know if we'll ever get it, but I mean, if Amazon's Rings of Power at a completion rate of under 37%, there's no way that this can't be, I'd say, orders of magnitude lower than that.
So I have heard, and I don't know how good it is, that it did beat 37% completion rate, but also 37% completion rate is dog shit.
I was gonna say that's
It's
terrible,
true.
isn't
It's
it?
true.
I think it would be. I think it would end up having a better completion rate than Rings of Power because more people have a better idea of what like Tolkien's world is, right? Compared to your regular person that doesn't really know what
millions.
Yeah. So it's probably going to have a better completion rate, but
I also think there's something to say about it's better to be bad than boring. And don't get me wrong.
That's correct.
Wheel of Prime was boring as fuck, but it was not Rings of Power boring, which may be the single most boring television show I've ever watched.
Yeah, I fell asleep every episode trying to watch.
I quit. I quit after episode 5 live. I mean, I was like, I can't do this shit again. Like, I can't watch this. There's nothing to watch, you know.
I went through so
when
many
they
stages
ended
of grief.
episode.
Go ahead.
When they ended episode 4 and episode 5 in the exact same place, them agreeing to sail to Middle Earth, I'm like, we wasted an episode.
That's when I was done. I was like,
nothing.
Fuck this show.
So many horses on those ships, by the way.
Yeah,
So
and
many
Stablebow
horses.
is right. If the show did well, Amazon would have bragged about it. They never did.
Yeah,
ever.
Well, they say, well, they do what they do with everything. That they say, oh, it was broke records, and then you never hear about it. They never prove it. They never show anything. It's just them saying shit because they want you to believe it. It's not, if you actually had some data to follow it up and back that shit up, then you would be, because otherwise you wouldn't have, there's nothing for us to say if you're breaking records and your viewing is off the chart and it's as good as you're saying, everybody's saying, you guys are saying it is, then just release those numbers and then we have nothing to say. It's like, well, there it is. I don't understand how people are doing it, but there it is. It's right there in black and white. I can't deny that it's right there, but you're not doing that, so that puts everything you're saying into question because, well, why not? If it's as good as you say it is, just release the numbers.
Yeah, I mean, we have the Nielsen numbers. The Nielsen numbers say that Wheel of Prime did roughly half the viewership that Rings of Prime did. So, it was roughly half. So if we're calling, Rings of Power a failure, what are we calling Wheel of Time?
Yeah,
exactly.
I wanted to show this from Metacritic. This is updated as of today, based on total views since the episode 1 premiered. This is for season 1. Out of a possible 10 over 2 years, it is 4.3.
There you go.
User score. Now, I remember when the positive ratings were only like about 100, and I think that this number was higher, but you can see overwhelmingly the negative reviews, 243 to 191 positive reviews with 21 mixed. Even if you combine the mixed and the positive, over 2 years, it is still less than the negative. It is kind of nuts. It's kind of nuts, but that is season 1. I wonder if people are downvoting season 2 yet. Wouldn't that be fun?
I hope not. I really, I hope not, because then we, we're gonna hear
everybody's
the
gonna cry.
They're gonna
we're gonna hear the
They're gonna
review
cry.
bombing shit anyways. But I mean,
so the review bombing shit is fascinating because we at the White Cloaks pulled this data. If you look at the Rotten Tomatoes scores, 85% of the scores that were higher than a 9, the 9s and the 10s, were dropped the first day.
Oh yeah, we looked at that too. Yeah.
Yep. So the idea that there was review bombing going on is patently absurd when 85%, I believe it was, of the 9s and 10s on that platform were by people who, at best, watched 3 of the 8 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
So the idea that there is negative review bombing happening is laughable in the face of the positive review bombing.
Hold on a sec. This went down.
Uh-oh.
Hold on. That went way down. Hold on.
What are you pulling up there, Chief?
I just looked at it right now. That went way down.
Yep.
Down. Yeah.
That was up at like 72. That went
I screen capped that
down
today. I screen capped that. Yeah.
Wow.
I used that in my video from the other day. Because
somebody
it did
said
go
top
down.
critics is down to 52 or something. Who was it that
It
said
is.
that in the chat?
You have to look at legitimate critics, not just like morons in their basement
where
getting
was it?
free toe
top
tags.
critics. I want the top critics thing, not just all critics. How do you change it to top critics? Oh well, I don't know. Oh, there you go. Top critics, 52. There it is. So 52%. I want to give credit to chat for that. Who got me over here for that? I know somebody said. There it is. Thumb said it. Of course, Thumb said it. He's on the pulse. That's way down because I know I was like, it was up at 72 all season, and I kept watching it. And I'm like, it has to start going down.
But
and
look
then
at
it would
the
go.
stars.
It would go down a tick, and then would go up a tick, and then would go down a tick, and then up 2 ticks. I'm like, this is crazy. What, 3.5 out of 5? Yeah.
But wait, that was the same score that this show had, and we looked at it a year ago. Okay, now if you go and look at Wheel of Time season 1 on Amazon, it's 4.5 stars. It's 5 stars. Season 1.
Hold on, I'll bring it up right now. Vamp for me.
Too busy coughing. But yeah, I mean, the amount of fortification that went into this, they said it was 4.5 stars, even though, and they were blocking people from putting reviews up. They wouldn't put my review up. And then immediately 6 months after the show ended, and I believe we looked at it live. I think it was OBG 70 maybe was there, and we looked at it, and it dropped down from 4.5 stars, where it had been fortified forever, down to 3 or 2.5 stars. And now it's back up to the bullshit fortification thing, which is just nuts. Show's been out for 2 years. Who suddenly upvoted it tens of thousands of high rating scores organically? You know? How's that for Vamp?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay.
Yeah,
Sorry,
so out of curiosity, I scrolled over to the Rings of Power Rotten Tomatoes score. Fuck me, I love that. They won't even show it.
Oh, dude, that's killer. Like nobody watches. Nobody watches anything about Rings of Power. Nobody gives a shit. Like nobody gives a shit about it. You know.
So are you talking that 7.1 IMDb score? Is that word in the?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
But you can see it went up. I mean, 4.5. That was way down. Remember, we looked at it. It was 2.5 stars on Amazon. Now it's all fortified up like this, and it makes absolutely no sense. And we were talking about it. The views essentially have not changed on this when it was still 2.5. So I don't know. Maybe there's some complicated Common Core math going on here that I don't understand. But that was not reflective of reality just a couple of months ago. You know.
Well, they used to have a breakdown per episode.
They totally fucked with this. We have this data. This has been.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
Significantly.
See, I wasn't kidding. I'm not engaging
hyperbole. You're talking about what I have up right now, Alex?
No, I'm sorry. On IMDb, that 7.1 is nonsense. That was down to like a 4.9 at one point.
Yeah, that's what Salty's talking about. Yeah. It won't even let me click on the. It used to let me. I used to be able to just click on that and go to it. It won't even let me do that anymore.
Yeah, I mean, they're amplifying this to the tune of almost 1/3 of what the or 40% of what the actual organic audience scores were, because they're committed to making these shit shows.
What are we exploring these days? Sorry. Oh, sorry. Nothing. Shit. Okay, sorry. Sorry. Let's see if they put anything on the
explore page. Look at this. Alina Duncan, Fellowship of the Fans does. They jacked me out of a stream and removed all my comments for asking some simple questions.
Yes.
I have all those receipts.
So and that's the thing is like we'll pretty much, you know, if you say we'll answer pretty much anything. If you ask us a question that you genuinely want answered, we're not going to kick like that's some bitch energy just to kick somebody out of your chat because they're asking you a simple question. Answer it or ignore them. Don't be like, if you can't, like, if your chat's going to be derailed because somebody asked you a question that you don't want to answer and you're afraid to leave it up because you think the chat's going to turn on you, that should speak volumes too. Like,
oh my god, that's insecurity right there.
Yeah,
dude.
it's like,
all I did was say Payne and McKay have never ran a show. I mean, they've never done anything. They've been given the biggest franchise opportunity. I mean, in media, was to take this and put this in a streaming service, Tolkien, you know, and what qualifies them for this? And it's like, get him out of here! And then they jacked me out. They deleted my comments.
I
and
remember
it's just
we were
like,
talking.
and this isn't about me, but I'm like,
yeah,
we
at the
can
time.
expect this. We can expect. I think this is going to happen with season 2 of Wheel of Time.
Salty.
I don't know to what extent, but
Salty, we're all positive here. You better be fucking positive too.
no,
we're gonna kick
keep
you.
my
We're gonna
ass,
kick your ass
Nerdporial.
out.
No, you don't scare me. You're not the boss of me, Nerdporial.
Prophet and Panel, would you rather have to watch Wheel of Prime season 2 on a loop forever, or have Rafe Judkins move into your house? Wheel of Prime season 2.
Rafe Judkins move into my house.
Wait a minute.
No, I'd rather watch.
Wait, I don't agree to the parameters of this question at all. Okay,
I think
mean,
the question is, does Rafe pay rent?
No, the question is, how easy would it be to wall off a room?
How deep does the whole
Someone's
thing
up
go?
on their Poe. Someone's up on their Poe horror stories.
And Trip, I wonder why that is. I wonder why he would ignore your base questions, asking actually about book relevant stuff and story relevant stuff. Why would he?
Does that include Trip? Does that include super chats? Please tell me you're not giving them any money.
Please don't give them super.
Please
chats.
don't give
Dude,
them.
I
super
never
chats.
watched them. I remember OBG7's talking about Dusty Wheel. I'm like, who the fuck is that?
So I don't.
They're now deemed the Dirty Wheel by Rage Boreal or by
look.
So if I
down.
hear Dusty Wheel again, I'm gonna get
my biggest takeaway, and I think I was talking. It might have been some of you guys. My biggest takeaway about this whole thing is the Wheel of Time has. Most of us have been waiting for a Wheel of Time adaptation since we've been reading Wheel of Time. It comes out, and all the actual Wheel of Time centric channels and stuff that have been around since the books came out, their growth has been so small, it's actually noticeable how little they've grown compared to what they should have grown if they were actually doing what they should be doing. Those channels, there's not a single Wheel of Time centric. And like I said, Daniel Green doesn't count. He does all kinds of books and all kinds of other stuff. And he was over 200,000 before this even started. There's not a Wheel of Time channel that's over, well, I was going to say 50, but I think it's actually over 40K subs right now. So being as there was a major release, a $100 million show that's been waited for years and years and years by the fan base, and we can't get a channel over 40,000 subs, I think that speaks volumes of what they're selling.
Agreed.
To me, anyway. So,
man. YouTube also has no incentive to put channels like ours that are critical of this and other shows in the spotlight. Not when their major advertisers are advertising Amazon shows, Apple shows, Warner Brothers movies, all the things that a lot of us talk about, when we're here. So
50 cents, they'll get a nickel.
Yeah,
that would be actually great.
Coconut milk. There's nothing soy in this house at all.
So,
not a
guys,
thing.
we've been going for I guess Pipperino passed out from his car ride. I wasn't sure if he was going to join us or not, but we've been going for about 2 hours. I think we've covered a lot. I know we've talked about it, but first, before we start finishing up and wrapping up, chat, you guys have been freaking crazy awesome. Elena, thank you you've been fantastic. Some awesome questions. Staple, Thumb, Trip, all you guys have been outstanding. So thank you. Whenever you guys are, you make the show so much better when you guys are talking and asking all kinds of cool questions and good stuff. So thank you very much. It's been a pleasure, and thank you for checking out the stream and the channel. Hopefully the channel. But so I still plan on being here. What would we say? Thursday? Is it Thursday, the 20th?
Thursday, 2 to 3 o'clock Pacific time.
So I will be streaming during the San Diego Comic-Con event. Whether anything happens or not, or we're just hanging out, is yet to be seen. But there has to be something. There has to be something. So, so I'll definitely be on for that, and maybe another unhyped stream. Later. I hope I can get an unhyped stream in there next week, because everybody seems to be enjoying these. The viewership keeps going up. I think I got the 36 today with you guys, which is the highest I've ever had on the channel. So thank you guys all for being here and making that happen in chat. Thank you again. But before we depart, do you guys have any final words or anything you guys want to advertise before we get off salty? You got anything going on?
Lady Bellfire asked when the San Diego Comic-Con event is. It's a couple of days next week, but this in particular for Wheel of Time will be July 20th. They're only going for 1 hour. I believe it's in conference room 20, because I have that memorized. And then it will be between 2 and 3 o'clock Pacific time. So there's other crap that's there. It's interesting because not a lot of people went to that one. But that's when that's happening. I'm going to have a video either out tomorrow or the day after. It's going to be another long-form video, and it's going to be about what I think is going to happen with a lot of these characters in Season 2. Maybe a two-parter, but that's what I got going on.
Sweet. Aldan, thanks for being here. I hope your team kills it, bro. But
So do I.
I mean, so maybe hopefully next time you're here, the hat's still on, because
Yeah, we'll see. Eh?
Yeah.
we got so
That'd be
like
awesome,
we
dude.
gotta get a Way Kings stream going, because Nathan's now finished, and I want to see you and Alex fight over Shalon. It'll be epic.
Yes.
So
I'm down.
the Shalon fight will be we may see some explosions and some names being called at each other, and
That's
you know,
okay.
I'm going to be there for it. I'll just referee. But,
Steve, my hatred of Shalon has actually been distracted. I've known Lift for like a chapter, and she basically already has all of my hatred. This is the worst character ever put to print.
All right, well, Alex, we have to have a bet about something, right? And if you lose, then you have to read a book called Edge Dancer.
I've already told him about Edge Dancer. So what's the bet, though? I told him about Edge Dancer already, and he's like, "Oh my god, I can't do it." I told him Lift is okay when she's not talking. It's like she's not talking,
yeah.
she's fine.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
my
she
God.
never shuts the fuck up.
Fufu, you haven't rage baited me once.
I
Thank you
know.
so much.
Come on. Come on. You
She's
still
like-
got a
she's-
couple minutes left. Come on.
I've worn her down. Wait, my final words. Matt has Ravens on. You know what? See, there's already
I got the
video
pictures.
about that.
I
all
got
right?
the pictures.
No, I don't
I got
need to
the
see the
pictures.
pictures
I
anymore.
know.
I already have like an hour video. Like that video turned in like to an hour of me just going the fuck off. But oh god, do you think there's any chance they do the Eofin and the Eofin? No way in hell,
Yes.
right?
No,
You
I think
they're gonna do
it's gonna be probably episode 6 or 7.
I
So
don't. There's no way they're gonna do it, man. You're giving them
What?
you're giving them so much love, man. They're gonna do Portal Stones. They're gonna do Eofin. There's no way.
I didn't say they were going to do Portal Stones. I just said they were going to have the character, the Celine, in a book that maybe. I mean, who the fuck knows? I mean, again, no matter what I do, I can't be as stupid and not have had the
true.
life experience that these creatives had. Okay, you know, I was lucky enough to be born in the 70s and not have any of this bullshit internet stuff and just read books.
Yeah.
You know, and fall in love with them. And I don't know what these people's motivations are, because
They're
if it's
just-
not to do good work, what is it then? Because
The
you're not
staff-
making any goddamn money making this dog shit. Just gonna say
The
that.
staff is gonna be a tent pole that he just grabs. And it's gonna have a fucking raven on it. It's gonna be
They
like
brought
oh
it. They
my
bought it at Tractor Supply. Somebody wood burned it. It's got a sickle on it. You know, it's gonna be look plastic, like a Halloween City, Halloween sickle, probably. You know,
that's the merchandising. You just have it's furry lizards and furry foxes. There you go.
that's best case scenario.
Hey, that's possible.
It's unfortunate. Yeah, it is possible. Thank you for being here, Trip. Nerpoya, got anything before we
Yeah.
sign off? Thank you for modding and throwing in some comments here and there. I appreciate you as always, buddy.
Well, thanks for having me once again. Yeah, I mean, like I've said, the state of entertainment is very, very. I'm just completely down on this. Like, there's very like I'm gonna have to really dig deep if there's another show I want to cover in the future. So, I mean, I've heard there was some decent. I heard there was some decent shows. You know, like
Stranger Things, new Stranger Things is going to be great.
I'm actually gonna. I was talking to Alex. I'm gonna do like a suggestion video because there's some old school stuff and actually a few new shows that I found entertaining. So
yeah. So right now, what I'm watching is the Wire. You know, I just had. If you haven't watched, me and Alex had a live stream, a chill stream last week. We talked about that and a whole bunch of other stuff. This week, I'm going to be having a chill stream with the one only Man of Manethrin. I got him to watch the other show that I've been watching. So The Wire was one show. The other show I'm watching is the anime called Legend of the Galactic Heroes. So a lot of people consider.
I watched that with you guys.
So The Wire is considered the best
Galactic
of the
Heroes nonsense.
So The Wire is considered the best of the.
You dick, Steve.
All the.
Dick.
All the live action shows ever made, which I disagree with, but hey, Legend of the Galactic Heroes is considered the best anime ever.
Is it the worst title ever? Like Legend of the Galactic Heroes?
It was the '80s. Back off.
I'm kidding.
Right? It was the 80s. Right.
I'm kidding.
I don't know. It's probably has the most gravitas of any anime.
I think I am. Sorry.
It's literally. I would say it's like. It's not like Lord of the Rings or Wheel of Time. There's no like religious influences, but it's basically a war epic with political intrigue and military intrigue and a lot of commentary about types of government and its pros and cons. Your monarchies / dictatorships with your aristocracies versus a representative democracy that is ran by a council and that's corrupt as hell.
Just leave the legend.
What would happen if upheavals occurred on both sides? So it's a long series and it's something I'm going to make a video about recommending. So, but Nathan's already into it. He's sending me his thumb drive. I'm going to be sending him all 110 episodes. He watched the first 3. So
I got your address. I'm going to send you one. I'm going to send you one too. So
I, however, am not.
Well,
because you're a hater.
Well, the thing is, it's subtitled. There's no.
I can't read, so we're good.
It was never dubbed.
He's not wrong.
I can't read, so.
It was never dubbed. So
yeah, that's what you said. Right?
It's a purely so if you want to read it, it's subtitled. But it's a personal favorite. I've watched it 4 times. Nobody's safe. And when things happen, it's about 2 characters on both sides of this war that basically do their part and shape the events of history, because this is told like historical chronicle. So definitely. So we're going to be talking about that and probably a whole bunch of other stuff too.
Fucking mayo. There's always mayo.
Yeah,
Alex,
baby.
Alex, you got anything happening with the White Cliffs these days?
We got a. Shut up.
Sorry, go ahead.
I got a couple things lined up, but my brain is literally boiling in this.
I get it.
You're swamped in there, aren't you? Shit. Sorry. All right.
Hydrate. I just want to say one thing. It really helps all of our videos, all of them, if you leave a comment. And I love responding to people. I know Steve does too. Everybody here who makes content. YouTube has gotten really difficult as to letting content creators of our size get seen. And the only way we really get seen is if you leave a comment. You can even say my dog eats pizza or something like that. But just some interaction with us, it helps a lot. YouTube has changed the algorithm again. It's not just affecting us. The larger channels are having the same problem. And so it's not pity, and I'm not asking for a fucking handout. I never would. But if you like what we do and you believe in what we're talking about, please just give us some interactions. And if you're finding us for the first time, please hit that subscribe button. For all the people here, everybody here works really hard, and they're not full of shit. And, that is becoming a very difficult commodity to find, is people who don't have a fucking agenda. So,
Yes, sir. Well, thank you for that. I appreciate it. Dempsey, I didn't miss your question. That we'll talk about Wolverine next time I play Final Fantasy or something, when we're just sort of shooting the shit. But
yeah, why does Wolverine have sleeves?
No,
where's his mask?
Because it's cold outside.
He didn't want to use roids again. He's freaking, he had to lay off the roids, so his arms shrunk a little bit. That's all. That's all. It's not that bad.
Good night, Gracie.
All right. Thank you all for being here, chat. You guys are awesome. We're still even at 20 viewers, so thank you all for being here. I'm gonna keep doing these unhyped streams until I guess until Wheel of Time is kicked off the air, maybe.
Yeah, and hit the like button and leave a comment before you go. That will really help. Bring this help with the algorithm here. So, yeah, Steve, you owe me $5. And you gotta watch Legend of Galactic
You're
Heroes.
sure to ask Nerdportal more questions about the League of Legends because this is something he's really into. So
yeah, it's 3.6. The keeps dropping me and going back up, but we're building. So we're trying to get there. So thank you all. We're gonna keep pumping these out, and hopefully you guys are still enjoying them. And looks like you guys are. So thanks again, and we'll see you on the next one. Man, I keep forgetting to use all my little things.
Say your
That's
when you said that, so I keep forgetting.
She.